Welcome to Behind the Mic with AudioFile magazine. I'm Jo Reed. Next Tuesday evening is the Audie Awards, and we thought it would be fun to revisit the conversations we've had about some of the major finalists, like the best narration for young adults and science fiction and fiction. We're beginning today with Michele Cobb discussing Knife, written and read by Salman Rushdie, and it's a finalist as an author-read memoir autobiography. Here we go.
Well, this is the unflinching recounting of the attack on his life that happened with a knife. It lasted just 27 seconds, and the author is giving us the details of the event, its immediate aftermath, and his extremely difficult recovery. He was lucky to be supported by his wife and his son and excellent medical care. And he does recover and he overcomes both the mental and physical challenges that are placed in his way from this attack.
Well, he had been under a fatwa for how many years for
Like
the
30?
satanic
Yeah.
verse
Yeah.
and in hiding for a long time. And that was the subject of his first memoir, Joseph Anton. That was the name he used during that time. So this is sort of like irony upon irony, right?
Well, even more so because he's at this event
Mm.
at Chautauqua talking about creating safe spaces for authors, safe cities, all of that. He doesn't get the chance to speak because he is attacked, but that's what he is there for. And to have this, would-be assassin who luckily was not very experienced with a knife, the fact that many strangers jumped in to save him, to, hold down the attacker, to put their finger on Salman Rushdie's neck to, prevent bleeding out. So many things came into place, but the irony of being there to speak about safe spaces is completely not
Yeah.
lost.
And also he literally lost an eye.
He did, yes. And,
Yeah.
I mean, he had a lot of wounds. His hand was damaged, his eye was unsalvageable. And it's interesting, I think the approach that he takes to his attacker, he doesn't name him in the book. He refers to him as the A, and he doesn't want to give him acknowledgement. And that's ironic as well, in the way that the attacker didn't really know very much about who he was trying to kill.
He just decided, this is what I'm going to do.
Yep, this is what I'm going to do. Didn't read much of Satanic Verses. And I think if you're going to go to the trouble of, plotting someone's demise, you should clearly have a clear path and have researched them. But I guess that's not the way this works.
Well, why don't we hear a little bit of it? Do you have to set this up for us?
Yeah, this is, where he's celebrating safe spaces for authors, and it's about to go very wrong.
Okay, this is Knife, Meditations After Attempted Murder. It's written and read by Salman Rushdie.
Thursday, August the 11th, had been my last innocent evening. Henry, Diane, and I had strolled without a care through the grounds of the institution and had a pleasant dinner at Two Ames, a restaurant on the corner of the Green Park area called Bestor Plaza. We reminisced about the talk I'd given 18 years earlier in Pittsburgh about my part in creating the International Cities of Refuge network. Henry and Diane were at the talk and were inspired to make Pittsburgh an asylum city too. They began by funding one small house and sponsoring a Chinese poet, Huang Xiang, who strikingly covered the exterior walls of his new home with a poem in large white-painted Chinese letters. Gradually, Henry and Diane expanded the project until they had a whole street of asylum houses, Sampsonia Way, on the city's north side. I was happy to be in Chautauqua to celebrate their achievement.
Oh my God, like that little piece is such a lovely story, right? That's leading into this truly horrific one.
Yes. And, the beauty of having an author like this who writes so well, you can feel the emotions, and you can understand the context of all of this. And it made me like angrier and more sad and happier all at the same time in the various pieces, because he's able to write about it so well.
Yeah. And it sounds to me, at least the piece we heard, like a ruminative narration, which of course it would be.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's pulling in, he's a writer, so he's pulling in bits from other authors that he used along his journey to sort of get back to a positive mental health space. And he's talking about freedom of expression. So there's a lot of things that are going in here. And again, this is pretty short. It's 6.5 hours, but it was really riveting.
Yeah. It sounds like it would be. Okay, that's Knife, Meditations After an Attempted Murder, written and read by Salman Rushdie. This has been Behind the Mic with AudioFile Magazine. Tomorrow, we talk about a finalist in fiction. Don't forget to follow Behind the Mic wherever you get your podcasts and then leave us a rating. It does help people to find us. I'm Jo Reed. Talk to you tomorrow.